Dark Force Rising. So the last book ended with the raid on the Solus Van shipyards. And Thrawn got away even though the Republic was victorious. So now Thrawn is hunting down Card for warships to use against the New Republic. And Card is currently in space in a asteroid field right next to Mercure. Still don't know how to say it. Thrawn shows up looking for him. They can't find him. They spot his ship in the asteroid field, and Mara senses this moment and says, we got to get out of here. Then they skedaddle. So the organization then goes into hiding. While in hiding, Mara kills this man with a Dengar Roth ID. So I'm wondering, is this the real Dengar from Empire Strikes Back, or is this a different guy? Is it the same bounty hunter, or who is it? And Akbar is accused and arrested for treason by Counselor Fela, the Bothan from the last story, the one that looked like a traitor. Seems to look more like a traitor in this one so far. He does this to further his political agenda. So, he's just a typical politician. Turns out Luke can replay short-term memories and focus on things that he wasn't paying attention to in that moment. I think this is going to be a one-off, force power, because I've never heard of this before in my life. I don't think I'll ever hear about this again. I'm pretty sure this is going to just be in this book. Now, if I'm wrong, please let me know. See what other stories this is in. I'd be interested, but I really think this is just going to be in this one. And speaking of Luke, he also negotiated a bar fight. Very Jedi-like. I loved it. And it comes into play later in the book with someone else. I'll leave that to later. It's a big deal. Han and Lando search to vindicate Akbar and investigate rumors of the Dark Force. Now, the Dark Force, aka the Katana Fleet, is a lost fleet of 200 advanced dreadnought heavy class cruisers, and it predates the Clone Wars. This fleet was lost after a hyperspace mishap due to a slaving command system failure. I don't know what that means, but it's what it said. And the New Republic and the Empire are both racing to find this fleet because it could be a game changer for whoever finds it. So in this book, Vader and the Emperor are referred to as Dark Jedi. So is this before the term Sith was a thing? I think this was early 90s, early mid 90s. Is this before, or did this author just not use that term? I don't know. And the real Joruus C'baoth was on an outbound flight mission in the Clone Wars. So I know there's a book called Outbound Flight. So I'm wondering if that book is about his story and how he dies and his life and stuff like that. I'd like to know that. Maybe I'd be interested in reading it. Okay, so Luke hears the voice of Joruus C'baoth tempting him to come. He's been hearing this since the last book, I think, on Nickelodeon. He also heard it. He goes to the planet Jamark to meet Joruus and agrees to his training. Now, Joruus also negotiates a fight, but he wasn't invited to it, and he inflicted pain on them until they submitted to him. Not very Jedi-like of him. And this is where Luke realizes his nuts, but he wants to help him out. He wants to heal him. And now Luke, after leaving Kashyyyk in the last story, is on her way to go to the Nogri homeworld. Now, on her way there, she passes by Endor to where the Emperor died. Passes through the exact same spot, and she passes out due to the dark side energies still there. So that just shows how powerful he is. So now she goes to the homeworld named Honogor, and again, she's still called Lady Vader. She goes there diplomatically to encourage them to join the New Republic instead of the Empire to expose their horrors. She then discovers their past, that Vader manipulated them to think that they owe the Empire a debt because a ship crashed during the war, releasing toxic chemicals, and it killed off most of the planet life. So Vader, using the Nogri as assassins, is in exchange for the Empire restoring the planet's ecosystem. And the Empire's droids only make it worse. It's further poisoning the planet to prolong their debt. Really messed up if you ask me, but it's the Empire. What else do you expect? Now, at one point, Leia actually has a memory of her parents, which I think this is way before the prequels. So I don't know. Vader doesn't know about them. So you're surprised to hear about his sister. So it can't be him, even in this before prequels world. So it has to be her adopted parents. I don't know. They probably shouldn't put any thought into this. It's just a throwaway line. Something happened. Han meets this presumed dead Corellian Imperial senator named Bel Iblis, and he has a private army to fight the Empire. He turned into a freedom fighter. So he has his private army, and he has 3 Katana Fleet dreadnoughts. So he's not part of the New Republic. He has beef with Mon Mothma and believes the New Republic is too authoritarian. Jarus attempts to turn Luke towards the dark side. He's saying the Jedi must rule in order to bring true order to the galaxy, like a psychopath, thinking like a Sith, or dark Jedi in this, because they don't call Vader Sith. And Jarus mentions training Leia's twins as his apprentices, and he demands Luke to submit to his training. And Luke resists, but he, again, is just trying to understand him, trying to help him out. Because he thinks he's just lost his mind in the years of solitude away from the Jedi Order and stuff like that. And so, in this moment, Jarus tries to dominate his mind with the Force. Now over to Karn, he is captured by Thrawn while moving between safe houses. Mara tries to go rescue him, but is captured, and she offers the Katana Fleet in exchange for 3 million credits, the freedom of Karn, and the organization's bounties lifted. As you expect, Thrawn betrayed her and followed her back to the base using a homing beacon on her ship. So her and Karn's men go for Luke's help. Now while Luke is getting his mind dominated, he realizes Jarus isn't a true Jedi at all. He's just a menace. And the arrival of Mara and Karn's people creates a diversion that causes Jarus to lose control of the situation, and they escape, going to rescue Karn. This shows that Jarus can use the Force to have direct control over people, which comes important later in this trilogy. Mara ends up remembering the location of the fleet from when she was the Emperor's hand, which is mighty convenient, I do say so myself. So Karn decides to share it with the New Republic, supporting them. So the New Republic locates part of the fleet, but Thrawn arrives first and a battle ensues. Now Bel Iblis joins the New Republic in this final battle, preventing total Imperial victory. But Thrawn still secures a majority of the fleet with help from clone stormtroopers to operate the dreadnoughts. Now also in this battle, Mara nearly dies after being forced to eject into space. Now the Noghri begin to rebel after Leia tells them the truth of what's happening to their planet. Thrawn secured a majority of the fleet and has all these clones. Mara and Karn align with the New Republic, and Bel Iblis is now with the New Republic. So this story was kind of hit or miss with me. I didn't like the Bel Iblis stuff. It just wasn't for me. That whole storyline with him, Han and Lando was just not for me. It didn't hit. It was just a miss. And at times, this was a chore to read. It took me a lot longer to read this book than the other ones. But the highs are still very high, but the lows are pretty low. Luke and Jarus and Leia and the Noghri were by far the best parts of this. Those were incredible, and I cannot wait to see more of that in the next video when we talk about The Last Command. I cannot explain how excited I am to talk about The Last Command, because it is just amazing. The ending of that is so good. It's amazing. So I'll rank this one a B or an A. Now that I'm talking about it and sort of reliving the good parts of it, I'll rank it an A on my tier list. It was pretty good. So I'll try to get this Last Command video out there pretty soon. I just got to rearrange my notes a little bit, try to get them in order with the timeline and stuff. But yeah, after that, Dark Empire, and I got, in between those, I've been reading this, and I'll probably talk about this as well in a video, because, I don't know, I like talking about DC Comics as well, and this has been very good. Speaking of DC Comics, I'm going to interrupt this Star Wars video and talk about something. This issue was very good, and I might want to talk about it in a short video or something. Peace.